Oh, hello everybody. It's pack day. I actually have one. We'll rip that in a little while, but I'll prove it to you. Check it out. Hold on. Look at that. It's not a shaking condom wrapper anymore, is it? It's a shaking cube. Oh yeah. We'll rip that shaking cube in a little while. Let's talk about that pack though, shall we? Do you want to talk about that pack? This is the first premium pack of the young NBA season. And I I like it honestly. The player list was pretty good this time around, I would say. You got your AD, you got your D White, you got your Ja, your Brandon Miller, your Sabone Dog, your Boncaro. I mean, obviously some of those are hollows, hard to get. Others are rares, easier to get. And it's all mixed up. You can get a bunch of different things in these packs. So we could take a quick look again if you'd like. Let me see if I can load that up real quick. But they're also doing this uh, crafting thing. And I think crafting is a good thing. I think crafting is something that people have wanted to see. For example, Bermira. Bermira is, I guess he's not active anymore, but Bermira put a lot of work into this, and shout out to Bermira because he still keeps in touch with the Top Shot community and such. But anyway, these are the packs, and you can see the odds right here. They're on sale right now. So if you're thinking about it, you probably want to head over there. I think they're, a few hundred, 500. Well, I guess that's 500 per person, right? So you can go buy 500 packs if you'd like. But you can see what you can pull. The Supernovas, there's LeBron in there, there's a KG in there. Then you got your hollows. And the reason why I thought this was a pretty good pack actually is because the rares are all people whose rares are of pretty good value. Because obviously some rares, some players have rares that have been released a ton of those rares on the platform. And then those rares are not quite as valuable anymore. But a lot of these guys still have some pretty valuable rares, including these guys at the top, even KD, Luca. So like, I don't know who the guys that you really don't want in terms of value in this drop are. I mean, I think Donovan Mitchell rares are probably about, maybe $10 or $15 less than the price of the pack. But a bunch of these are near, at least close to the price of the pack. You might lose a few dollars. And then, of course, you have the thrill of the rip if you can somehow get incredibly lucky and get one of these very small chance moments in your pack, such as the Supernova, which you have under a 10th of a percent at. And then you got your holos, which you have under 2% at, and otherwise you're going to get one of these rares. So that is that, and we'll rip that in a little while. But anyway, it's nice to be with you all, and a lot has happened. I feel like there's quite a game of NBA action last night. Hello, Ricky Ricardo, how are you? Like that Warrior Celtics game. Great game, I think the Warriors potentially are gonna surprise a lot of people this year. I don't think anyone thought they were gonna be that good this year. Another team that's surprising a lot of people, of course, is the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are undefeated. They're 9-0, and their next few games are against teams that are not that strong. So, if we look at their next games, for example, look at this. They face the Nets, then they face the Sixers, who just lost Maxey. Then they face the Hornets, the Pelicans, the Hawks. The Celtics should be a pretty good game. Um, am I reading that right? No, I'm sorry. It actually goes left to right. So I actually missed a few. I'm sorry. Well, let's try that again. They're facing the Warriors on Saturday. That's their next game. Then the Nets, then the Bulls, then the Sixers, then the Bulls again, then the Hornets. So like they very well could sweep the board here. I think that Warriors game will definitely be a hard one for the Cavs, but they're 9-0. I definitely didn't think that they would get this far. 9-0. Jokic is also playing like a madman. Ryan says he'll win MVP again. I mean, he very well could. And I, for one, was very happy to see that the Nuggets are playing well. I think they kind of got off to a weird start, and people thought that maybe they weren't going to be that good this year. But again, we're only 8 games into the season, basically. So a lot can happen in 8 games, but or the next 8 games. Like the Nuggets are 5-3. They've won 3 straight. And then another surprise, in my opinion, is the Suns at number 1. I don't think anybody thought the Suns were going to be this strong. Although, of course, again, it's still early. But a lot of the popular pick was the Thunder. That was definitely a popular pick. I would say the Thunder, the Nuggets, perhaps the Mavs, the T-Wolves. So some of these teams are really surprising. I mean, the fact that the Rockets are up there. I mean, of course, this is going to shake out very differently as we go further into the season. The other thing, of course, also is how weak the Eastern Conference is right now. The only 2 teams that are above 500 are the Celtics and the Cavs. That's pretty hard to believe. It's hard to believe as well that the Bucks and the Sixers are all the way in the basement of the league. Crazy. So fun NBA action. That's all I'll say. Definitely fun NBA action. And of course, I hope you guys saw. We are live, by the way. We are. And hello, Jordan. How are you? We saw some funny clips also yesterday. I thought I'd share one of those. So Trae Young is somebody that I'm not the biggest Trae Young fan, but I think I became a much bigger Trae Young fan after this video. So let me see if I can share that. Hold on. This was after Trae Young beat the Knicks, and here's what he had to say. Hopefully this works. I saw some error just now. So if you guys don't hear it, let me know. But this is Trae Young after the Hawks beat the Knicks in Atlanta. So yeah, Trae Young is the ultimate villain. And I love him for it. I love the fact that sorry, you guys can't hear. Damn. He said, I hope they find the exits quick, take y'all ass home, something like that. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that actually. Let me try. Should I try? I'll give it one more shot. If you guys can't hear it, then I guess then we're just doomed. We're not gonna be able to hear this today, but we'll try one more time. Here we go. Let me know in the chat real quick if you can hear it or not.
I hope these New York fans find their way to the exit real quick. Boo! Take y'all ass home. I hope these.
Could we hear him that time? Boo! Take your ass home. Okay. Anyway, he's a great movie villain, and congratulations to the Atlanta fans. Your team is also playing well. Your Richase definitely looks like the rookie of the year right now. I mean, what a dominant performance by the rookie last night. The number 1 pick, 33 points. So that was pretty cool to see. It's nice to see when a draft class isn't 100% certain, and then you get it right, and you get a guy that's already performing damn well in 8 games of NBA action. So very cool. Good to see for those Hawks fans, especially after they traded Luka Doncic. But anyway, so that's going on. Let me see what else is going on. Some more Top Shot stuff actually is, something that I have talked about in the past, something that I think is really cool and something that makes Top Shot unique is these player hangouts. And, not every player hangout is going to be Larry Bird, but this is pretty cool. Joaquin Noah hangout. And I think Jacob also alluded to in the Collecting and Connecting podcast that we're going to see another one. So just the fact that they are able to continue to hit us with player hangouts, I think is really cool. I mean, I hope that every team gets to hang out with like a fan favorite. And I think that, Joaquin Noah is a fan favorite. So it's very cool. It would be cool too, though, if like maybe Knicks fans could get on this board too, because how do you decide, for example, when it's a player like this? I think Knicks fans liked Joaquin Noah as well, I think, but I suppose he's more revered by Chicago fans. Anyway, so we see that player collectors who stacked his moments got on the board here, 5 of them, including Steve, including Faldo, big collectors right there. And then 5 collectors were from the top 250. I think I recognize Dawg there. And then we also have 5 people from the leaderboard. So that's the Chicago Bulls leaderboard. So that's 15 people. The only thing that I thought, though, was missing in this one was that previously for the Larry Bird one, you could burn Larry Bird moments to get invited to the live call. So I think that in this case was missing. And hopefully they add more of that because I am very pro burn. I know some people are not, but I think that's a great opportunity, especially if someone, for example, is a Knicks fan, like I said, and they don't have the Bulls as their favorite team, but they really like Joaquin Noah, or maybe someone is a Florida University fan and wants to ask Joaquin Noah about that dance he did when they won the national title. That's what I want to ask him. And, someone like that who doesn't collect the Bulls, who doesn't necessarily collect Joaquin Noah, might want to buy a bunch of his moments, burn them, and get invited. Because I think with Larry Bird, you could have burned maybe 2 moments. And at the time of that event, that would have cost you something like $80 or $90. So for some people, that's worth it. 80 or $90 to be able to hang out with a player that you really like. And you can tell stories about being able to hang out with this person. So I think that part of it is missing this time around. So hopefully they add it the next time around. So I just wanted to mention that, but nonetheless, very cool. I'm really happy to see that this is continuing. I'm really happy to see that NBA Top Shot is the place to be, is the place to go when you want to hang out with some of your fan favorite players. And I'm really curious how they can continue to expand upon this idea. So kudos there. I'm very happy about that. Let's see what else. Badawine is saying he loves Atlanta. Airplane Mode wants to see Trumpy. Badawine says Hawk Tua. H Skate says he met Noah in Paris. Joaquin Noah, great guy. And Badawine is jealous. And Mass Dog says exactly more of this. And Badawine says I saw Wemby and Koulibaly live in France 2 years ago. I'm a Bilal fan. Yeah, Bilal's having an amazing season as well. And exactly, Koulibaly having a great year so far in the Wizards. So a lot of interesting stories for pure basketball fans. I did see some story, though, on ESPN that said like ratings are down. I mean, perhaps the general public hasn't caught on to some of the stars in this league, like Anthony Edwards and John Morant and players of that nature, and Paulo Banchero, who's injured. But these are the future faces of this league. Jason Tatum, but I suppose Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, they will always take the premier spot, right? So that is that story. Let's see what else. So we talked about the PAX, and we also have those Grail Hunter packs that are like always on. Something that was interesting to me that I didn't quite realize, and if you ever buy those Grail Hunter packs, it tells you like you can't sell these packs. And I think the reason is because have you ever heard of those like infinity soup? You know, like like those old Chinese people make infinity soup and the soup is always boiling. There's like a soup that's been cooking for 100 years. Have you guys ever heard about that? Um, and there's actually a famous story about that in New York. And then they were making like infinity soup in the park and people got super sick. But the point is, these packs are kind of like infinity soup because what happens is people buy the packs and then I think they like continually replenish. So when the grails get ripped, they just throw more grails in and they continually replenish this infinity soup of packs. And so for that reason, I suppose I don't 100% understand it, but I think, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's why you can't sell these packs. Um, and you know, it's the same story that I feel that Steve mentioned when he was on this show as well. Like you have these really big grails, like these very highly coveted grail moments in the thousands of dollars. And then you have your rares, but there's just not a whole bunch of them. And if I could just shake up the makeup of these packs a little bit, and I know I'm repeating myself here, but I would not buy a couple of these legendaries and I would buy instead a crap load more rares, bump these odds up. That's what I would do. So hopefully we do see the makeup change a little bit on these Grail Hunters because these are really like zero or hero. And what's funny or humorous is that these odds are pretty much similar to like physical. Yes, you are, by the way. You are going to slurp the soup, damn it. And yeah, Reddy is saying, guys, hit that like button. It's free. Please hit the like button. And H Skate says the packs just sold out. So Top Shot, alive and well. For all the complaining, alive and well.
It's goddamn amazing. Woo.
So for those of you who didn't get one,
I want that one so bad.
My.
you know, or also for those of you who didn't get one.
For you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So the packs, the Grail packs, tough odds, but you could hit something really valuable, not unlike physical cards. And these new packs today, obviously you're guaranteed a rare, so that's different. Let's see what else. Is there anything else I want to talk about before we rip these PAX? Oh, something actually interesting that I want to share with you guys is this tweet from the raccoon himself, from Diamond Dawg. Let's take a look at that. This is interesting. And I imagine that this is going to make its way over to Top Shot eventually. And Mass Dog, I did get a pack and we will be ripping that pack shortly. I just got to edge you. You got to stay in the chat. I got to edge you for as long as I can. And then we will rip the pack. And we'll talk about the election a little bit, I suppose. Because we did talk about it leading up. So we'll talk about the election. But, okay, so I don't know if you guys saw this tweet by Diamond NFL, but this week's NFL All Day Playbook is live. And for the first time, there's a requirement of utilizing a moment with a rookie mint badge and from the current 2024 series in the free common plus and rare plus modes. So, you know, whether or not you like the NFL, and Badwine doesn't like the NFL, the point here is that there are now some requirements here. And this makes sense to me because it's something, again, shout out to Primera if you're listening to this podcast, Primera. But he mentioned this as well in his like diatribes, right? Which is that you can't just buy the pieces you need and then play fast break forever, because that's kind of the way it's set up right now, where you can pretty much set up your collection, get your commons, get your rares, and then you're just golden. You never have to do anything else. You just set your lineups every week and you hope that you can get some packs for doing so. The problem with that idea, of course, is that it's not 100% sustainable. It's not 100% sustainable. You want people being active for this game. You know, they want people being active just to be active and for collecting moments on the platform, which is why they made changes to TSS and such, but they want people being active on this game. And you can see people doing it here, right? Where now you have to use at least one rookie moment or a 2024. In this case, I'm wondering if it's a 2024, it has to be a common or a rare, whatever. If it's a common, obviously that doesn't mean a whole lot. You can go pick up a 2024 common on Floaty for 30 cents. But I do think it would also add a little bit of a challenge if you had to use a rookie in your lineup for the week, right? That's not a big deal. You get to collect a rookie, and maybe there's a night where you just can't play pure chalk and you got to throw in a rookie in one of those nights, or maybe two of those nights. So not only does it actually make the game a little more interesting, in my opinion, but it also makes sure that collectors have a reason to continue to have new moments in their collection, because you have to do that. Like, whether or not we like this idea, you have to do that. If you want to take the example of So Rare, they have their current season of challenges, and you have to own mostly new cards to play those challenges. So you have to go ahead and you got to buy those new cards. The new cards give you a special increase in the percentage of their point values, and you have to use those new cards. If you want to use the old cards, you can. There's other challenges that use the old cards, and then those challenges, the pricing is not as good. You don't get the boost, etc., etc. So obviously they want to push you towards the new stuff, because that's how they operate. That's how they continue to make money. Otherwise, you can't just have a bunch of a user base that never needs to buy anything new to play the game. So I would not be surprised whatsoever if we see something like this make its way onto Top Shot. And I saw that Dawg said have tiered fast break, one for locked moments, one for TSDs, etc. I don't love the idea of forcing people to lock their moments. I feel like that's a very, although people do have to do it obviously for the metallic silvers, and that's something you can decide to opt in or out of. I am of the mind that I think that what we want people to do, what we should encourage people to do, especially in fast break, which more people are going to engage in than metallic silver, is just own something new. Own something new. Own a rookie. Own a new rare. Own something. And you'll get something that you ideally are going to use in your lineup. So it's not like you're just going to buy the, whatever cheapest rare you can find from that series. You're going to buy something that you hope to use, right? So anyway, I wanted to share that because I thought that was very interesting. And I almost feel like this is a signal that like the tides are probably changing just a little bit. And I think that this is a small enough adjustment that it's not a big deal. And it happens to add a little wrinkle to the game. So it doesn't feel like they're kind of forcing your hand just to force your hand. It feels like they're doing it, and it's for the good of the game as well, and the good of the marketplace as well. So I'm all for it, honestly. And I think that Top Shot should do this. So let's see what happens. H Skate says, keep things simple for now. Main focus should be to grow new users. I do agree with that point as well, H Skate. That is a very good point. If Top Shot is in like no rush, and obviously the demographics and the user activity is different, and they're probably testing it out on NFL first and seeing how that works. So if they do it on NFL and they see that engagement remains the same, and they see that a whole bunch of people add new moments to their collection, then I think it's very likely that we're going to see it port over to NBA Top Shot. And if we don't, then it's not as likely. So let's see what happens. And Master Dawg says, I think by year 3 or 4, we need changes. Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, Top Shot in itself is kind of infinity soup, right? It's like we're all eating from the soup, and it's constantly being adjusted and constantly changing, and we're constantly learning things. We're constantly trying new things. You could maybe say that we are in beta.
Beta.
Right? By the wine, Mrs. Big Shug. Maybe we can get Big Shug twice a year instead of once a year. Maybe we can get him at like the All-Star break. Yeah. Bottle of wine. He likes the soup reference. I guess we're just gonna have to talk about Infinity Soup for the rest of our lives. Is the Infinity Soup going to become a new meme for the show? It just might. Let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about that I didn't yet. Yeah, we talked about the games last night. Nemius Queta from Portugal, the pride of Portugal, which I love sharing the images from the cable networks out here because his head is 15 times bigger than LeBron James and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant on the NBA promo videos, which is just amazing. And yeah, so the people here in Portugal are very happy and prideful about this Portuguese man. So yeah, we talked about the way the NFL is doing their version of Fast Break. Talked about the PAX. Talked about Trey Young. We talked about Joaquin Noah. And I guess we can rip a pack. I was going to talk a little bit about Fast Break and set our lineups, but I invited Memfiattle, I believe. What's the name again? Memfiattle, is that it? Memfiattle Smoke Dog, the Ice Cream Man is the full name. I believe that's his birth name, his government name. Memfiattle Smoke Dog, the Ice Cream Man. So we will dive into that with Memfiattle Smoke Dog, the Ice Cream Man. He should be here soon. But before that, we could rip this pack if you guys would like to see a pack ripping. Why don't we rip a pack? So there we go. There's my pack. So we know our odds. We know that the majority of the time we are going to be seeing the new rares. I know that make them wait until you have 15 likes. Do we have less than 15 likes? There's 16 of you in the chat. Let me see how many likes do we have? We need to have 15 likes. That's a good idea, Ready. Let me see. How many likes? Oh, we only have 8 likes. Oh man, that's low, guys. That's low. We got to get those likes up. All right, it's at 10. I'll go and refresh it in a couple minutes. Invite your friends. Tell them we need 5 more likes or else we're not going to see what's inside of this pack. Oh man. So all right, guys, you want to see what's in this pack, don't you? You got to lick that like. So I guess before we get there, I'll just refresh in the background. Stan Love says we need a fist bump. Let's give him a fist bump.
So I appreciate it. Yeah, man, that was an awkward fist bump. Don't clip that. Jeff gonna clip that. It's gonna go viral. Jesus Christ. No, I appreciate it. It was weird.
All right, let's see. How many likes do we have now? Let's see. We have 12. All right, maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll just be a nice guy, even though we should really have more than that because there's 18 of you watching. Do we have a Twitch guy? We don't have a Twitch guy. 17 of you are watching. Everyone here should lick the like. Everybody, put your tongue on the screen, lick the like, or your phone. Put your tongue on your dirty phone, lick the like, or lick your mouse and like the stream. Massdog says, I liked the recent connecting and collecting show with Jacob. That wasn't the assignment, Massdog. The assignment is to like this stream. No, but I'm just kidding. I also liked it. I think that, say what you will, but Jacob is somebody who really does care about this platform. And, he's excited about it. And you can see that they are working and they are improving upon the platform. There's always going to be things that some people really like about this platform, and you're gonna have your simps, you're gonna have your stands, you're gonna have your people that are not so happy, but I think that we're trending in the right direction at least. And something that I actually saw that the Ryba guy, who is one of the big time collectors on this platform, VIP, he was saying how much he appreciates the fact that NBA Top Shot has these buybacks. And, I talked about this last week. And again, I know I'm a broken record, but you guys come here for me to repeat my points. But the fact that we have this buyback is something that we've all wanted for quite a while. And it makes perfect sense. And it supports the floors. And if people want to buy packs, if people just got to scratch that itch, let them, but use a portion of those proceeds and raise these floors, buy back these moments, and throw them back into packs. Why not? I think it's a brilliant idea. I hope they keep doing it. I hope they scale it up. I hope it, it really supports a healthier economy, in my opinion. So Let's rip this pack. Let's see. Do we have more than 12 now? Do we have more than 12? There's like 17 of you watching. 13. Okay, that's close enough. That's close enough. That's close enough. Badawine says, I made my own buyback when I sold that LeBron TSD for $4,000 and I never looked back. Well, good for you, Badawine. I mean, that moment nowadays sells for about 800 or so. But yeah, if you are someone who sold during the peak times, then that showcases that you're somebody that understands when to take profits. And that's a good skill to have no matter what you're doing. If you're investing in stocks or crypto or NFTs or anything like that, it's always good to take some profits. Stan says, hold on. Hopefully my connection doesn't suck. It says the connection is unstable. But Stan says that Top Shot forced Mets out of beta, bring him in to rant. I'm not going to bring in Mets to rant. I definitely will support Mets if he wants to go rant on his own, though. You know, but I don't know if it was Top Shot. So I'm in the beta Discord of like the people who work on the beta project, and from what I understand, it was not Top Shot. It was various people, and I don't know who those people were, and nor do I care to really dive into the drama of it all. But I do think it's kind of a shame because Metz, for all his warts, is somebody who does truly care, and he is a good marketing mind. So it's kind of a shame that some people have trouble looking past that. But Metz also has a tendency to kind of troll people and maybe sometimes go a little too far or say things that are a little too much. And some people just don't want to forgive him for that. So, you know, sometimes you make your bed, you got to lie in it. You know, I personally don't have that feeling, that negative feeling toward Mets, but some people do. All right. So Reddy says, I sold a Cool Cats Luca for $5,000, but I bought a Zion debut for 8,000. Call it even. Okay. All right. So I see in the background here, we got Memphiatl Smoke Dog, the Ice Cream Man. So let's bring in Memphiatl Smoke Dog, the Ice Cream Man. All right, oh, actually, give me the thumbs up when you feel like you're in a good spot, Memphiatl, if you can hear me. Can you? All right. He says 1 second. 1 second. He's getting his situation worked out. And what I like about Memphiatl Smoke Dog, the Ice Cream Man, if you've seen him on Twitter, is I feel like Chris Treaticus has somehow dropped his DNA in the water supply, and now we have a new, younger Treaticus. Let's see what else we got here. Reddy says on Mets, you can take the kid out of Jersey, but you can't take the Jersey out the kid. You know what that reminds me of, by the way, Reddy? I watched the first episode and a half of the Boston Red Sox documentary on Netflix. And if there's any Red Sox fans in this chat or Boston fans in this chat, or even if you don't like Boston, maybe it's a great documentary. Of course, for me, that's like my, that's when I think I was a freshman in college. Yeah, I'm old, but that was, you know, that was my young adulthood and so many memories. And, you know, when the Red Sox lost to the Yankees in, what was it, 2003, I think, in 7 games, I felt that pain again. It was crazy. I was watching it and I felt like so sad, full of sadness and grief, the same way I felt when I watched it live at my college dorm. So that was crazy. And it's just really well done. It's a really good story too. So really, really good stuff. Otherwine says we should connect Mets with Joey Diaz. All right. I mean, that would be Mets' biggest break of all time if you could do that. All right. So we're waiting for Memphiatl. I see him in the back there. He's going to give me like a thumbs up or something when he's ready. All right. He's got a thumbs up. So let's introduce Memphiatl, the Ice Cream Man. Let's give him a little community drop.
We love the community.
Hey guys, how y'all doing today? How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. So it says
Awesome.
here that you're founder of Good Smokin' America. What's Good Smokin' America, Memphiatl?
Good Smoking America is actually a pro cannabis platform that I've created about approximately 5, 6 years ago. What it basically is just a more in-depth look and more educational look into the cannabis community when it comes to the laws, the regulations, and the news and everything. It was something that I've been working on for many, many years. And also, it's a platform to where, I want to inform, the general masses about things like cryptocurrency, NFTs, and all other types of projects that are out there that we can involve ourselves in, which is why I'm a big proponent with NBA Top Shot.
Interesting. So you come for the ganja, but you stay for the NFTs.
Of course, of course. Yeah, you have to
Very
excuse me
nice.
in the beginning because I had a little difficulty with the Wi-Fi spot because I was trying to set up a spot outside, but the Wi-Fi wasn't connecting, so I had to move everything back inside.
No problem. We're used to technical difficulties on this show. Oh, that's true. I should have brought you on 16 minutes ago, but that's all right. Anyway, yeah, it's cool to see you on the timeline. You're a new face. So I saw you went to Portland. You went to the game with the Portland Trailblazers fan. So I thought it might be interesting because I didn't recognize you on Top Shot Twitter. Top Shot Twitter is like quite its own little sort of bubble community. So I was curious just how you got involved, or since when you've got involved. How did you get your start on NBA Top Shot?
Oh well, I've actually been involved with NBA Top Shot for quite a few years now. I think I started the same year that it came out,
Okay.
but I was just a few months late in coming in from the first adopters. So
Yeah.
so I pretty much came in on the back end of the first season.
Mhm.
Uh, and I've been with Top Shot ever since then. I most people know me from the Discord.
Okay.
They know me as Smoke Dawg from the Discord. A lot of the time they call me Big Worm, from Fridays and everything. So I've always had a little bit of a name in the Discord. So a lot of people know me, in the Discords and everything. I really just started getting very active on X or Twitter within the past maybe 2 years. Um, and as I started getting more active in the X Twitter space, the ones that I knew from Discord, like Mike G 503, and D-Jack, and Blazer fans and all them, they all welcomed me with open arms, from the Discords and everything. And I've always had a connection with them because we're all on the West Coast and we're always talking basketball anyway. So I ended up just, as a Celtics fan, I kind of got adopted by the Blazer fans. So now, whenever they have events, especially when it concerns the Top Shot community, they tend to, include me into their events. There's a stream platform called Playback that we do, the sports, the games and everything, and we talk about the games and talk about Top Shot as we're watching the games. So that's something that I typically do is I jump on stream with them and talk basketball, talk Top Shot, talk fast break. And I said that now that I just graduated school. So I just said that now, since I'm graduating, I have the time to be more proactive. I said I was going to start being more and more active on Twitter, start, trying to, get my Twitter handle out there to more and more fans and more Top Shot, collectors, so that, we can build a bigger and better community throughout the country.
All right. Well, that's cool. I didn't know that you were like a Top Shot OG and Discord OG. Some people in the chat are asking for your name, your TS name, and also.
It's the
By the-
same. It's the same as my name, Memphiato_Smoke Dawg.
All right, there you go. Memphiato_Smoke Dawg.
Yeah, you can find me on all platforms. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Clapper. If people are familiar with the Clapper mainstream platform, yeah, it's the same name, Memphiato Smoke Dawg on all platforms.
Isn't the clapper when you clap your hands to turn the lights on and off?
Well, it is a platform that is kind of funnily named after that invention. But no, it's actually another social platform that's very similar to TikTok is more like an adult version of TikTok, I guess you can kind of say. It
Okay.
doesn't have all the like real strict regulations and everything that TikTok does have, but you can be more open and talk about more topics and things of that nature.
Got it. Well, here's a Blazer fan in the chat. James Dylan Bond is here. All right, cool. So that's cool though. So yeah, you are a Discord OG, a Top Shot OG. I suppose I have to ask you what your I guess just how you feel about the platform as someone who's been there from the beginning, who's seen like the huge ups and the downs and sort of working through it, and the community and people that rushed in the beginning and kind of the people that are still here. And what is just your overall impression then of kind of this whole experience for you? And also you could tell me what you're looking forward to moving forward.
Okay. Well, basically, when I first got introduced to to the platform and everything, I was very, very excited. I saw great potential in the platform because I am an old school card collector. I used to collect a lot of basketball cards. Still have a lot of my old school basketball cards and everything. And I when I was introduced to this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is right up my alley. This is perfect for me, because I am a collector. But what I have noticed is that in the beginning, there were a lot of whales. You know what I'm saying? That they really weren't collectors. They were more so in it to kind of like jump in, make their money, get out. And so because of those kinds of collectors, I'll call them for now. But for those type of collector, it kind of I don't want to say it diminished because they did help as far as the financial side of Top Shot, but it kind of diminished a little bit of the authenticity for collectors, um, because it's like for them it was more so of a buy and sell, whereas for us it was more so of a man, we want to collect these because we believe in this project, we believe in the product that's coming out. We feel like that this product is going to move forward in a very positive direction. And even though like you said, there's been a lot of ups and downs, there's been a lot of hiccups, especially with the um, processes of getting into line, getting into queue for packages, for packs and things like that. It's been a very big, just travel to go through, to have gone through this for the past, what has been like 4 years now, four or
Yeah,
5 years.
4 years, I
So
think.
yeah, about 4 years. So for us to have gone through all of this and still have the interactions that we're having with all the collectors and even some of the newer collectors that are coming in, um, I find it very encouraging.
Yeah.
And also, just another note, I actually have ran into like a guy who got in when it first started, and he actually like stopped dealing with Top Shot for a few years, and I just, you know, started talking to him about Top Shot. I introduced him to him, like, hey, this app Top Shot is really great. He's like, Top Shot? I've been on Top Shot. I was on Top Shot years ago. And so I explained to him like all the fast break that came up, all the improvements that came up and everything. And he's like, man, I need to get back into it. So he done went back and filed a ticket to get his password back so he can get back into his account so he can get into the fast break epidemic that's happening now. And, just trying to garner excitement and activity with people in this platform because I really, really do have faith in this platform. I think that this will be something that's going to be even 20, 30 years from now here and available.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I feel the same way. I think the hardest thing, and it's something that we talked about a lot here, but the hardest thing is like when something is created and a lot of people have an idea of something, it's hard to shake that idea. So like when Top Shot gets created, it has this huge burst of popularity, and people see it as this like speculative NFT COVID way of flipping and making a crap load of money, and then a lot of people get left holding the bag, and then like that is the impression of Top Shot for probably like thousands of people on like crypto Twitter and like Wall Street Bets subreddit and stuff like that, and that it's very difficult to now shake that. And I think that the fact that they keep building, the fact that they keep improving, ideally we will get there eventually. Like we will be able to sort of shake off what it was, or what does Kamal Harris say? Like unburdened by what it was, what it was.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I meant by like the big whales that came in, they put this kind of damper on the project because, they made it seem like it's going to be this great pump and dump, kind of thing where they just put all this money into it and not realizing that this is actually a collection. You know what I'm saying? This is like if you are a collector of anything, that you have to start off with the base. You know what I'm saying? And then you build up the popularity to get to the point to where the base cards are worth all this money. And it's just like now, it's like back then they expected it to just be worth a lot of money just right off the rip. And I really feel like that was the biggest misconception because of how the NFT market was playing during COVID, how people were buying and selling, buying NFTs at $100 and selling them at $10,000, $20,000. And they were thinking that it was going to be the same results with the NBA Top Shot. And I'm kind of glad that it wasn't like that because it solidified what Top Shot was really about. It solidified that we are a collection. You know what I'm saying? That we are here to collect these moments and to build this collection up into what it is now becoming. So now we're going to have utility with these moments, with the fast break games and with AI Sport and with Own the Moment and all these other platforms that are now third-party platforms to the NBA Top Shot. So it's like we're taking our time and we're actually trying to build it from the ground up instead of just bomb rushing a whole lot of money into it and then pulling the rug. And so that's what I really do appreciate about Top Shot, is because even though I'm not saying it's perfect by far, like there are a lot of improvements that still needs to be done on the platform. Marketing is a real big thing that I feel like that Top Shot is kind of lacking in, because
that's always a hot topic on this show. So I'm curious, as a fresh mind here on the show, tell me what kind of ideas you have as someone who's connected to the NBA, someone who really likes the NBA, someone who probably follows, dozens of accounts on Twitter and social media and stuff like that. If you could sprinkle a little bit of marketing ideas in there, what would you do?
Well, there's kind of an idea that they've already kind of done, but I feel like that they could emphasize a little bit more, and that's like live game interaction, where they put the scanner, the QR code up on the Jumbotron, get people to download the app off of the Jumbotron and probably get a free moment for downloading the app, kind of give them some incentive to, to be active into the app, show them, like, I just really feel like that we have taken steps towards what should be done in marketing, but it's just that we don't emphasize. It's not emphasized enough to where it can bring results.
Okay.
And I just think that if we just emphasize it a little bit more, especially to NBA fans, the people who are truly NBA fans, the people that truly watch basketball, know the players, not just know the star players, but also know the second string player, the bench player. I feel like that then Top Shot would garner an even more equity in itself, because now you have knowledgeable people coming in, purchasing and these packs, these moments, and using these moments in packs, in fast break, in all the other platforms. If we could just show these people the utility of the moments, if we could show them, I guess kind of a roadmap. I mean, I know we show roadmaps, but like a more simplified version of a roadmap, something that a teenager could possibly understand. Because we have to simplify things for people to garner a better understanding of what Top Shot is about.
Yeah, man.
Which we've done. We're going in the direction of simplifying and making things a lot more simpler for the common collector to get into it. But I still think there's a little bit more that can be simplified, to make even more people come in.
Yeah, I hear you. It's like about that top of the funnel. It's about attracting people that are more general NBA fans. And I think that's probably like the most challenging task, and that's something that we all want to see. And that's something that I think we talked about years ago as well, is have QR codes. I mean, we've had versions of that, like you said. I remember, I think it was even in Portland, where they had some kind of NFT, and you scanned something and you got like a rotating basketball hoop in your wallet. But yeah, especially because they have an agreement as well with Ticketmaster. And now they also have like this agreement in place with NBA ID.
Which was great. That was a great step. I love that when they did that, and then the pack that came with it when you signed in, like that right there is the kind of incentive that I feel like will garner more and more participation and more people. Is when you give something that not only is going to incentivize them for signing up, but also can be used as a utility in gameplay. You know what I'm saying? Because those cards, those moments that you got from the NBA ID, you can immediately use them in fast break. You know, so if we can get a point A to point B kind of marketing going, to where, you know, we not only garner the attention towards NBA Top Shot, but we also give them something that they can use. Because just like you said, we did something similar before, and it was a cute NFT, you know, like you said, the rotating basketball goal and stuff like that. But what use is it? What good is that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it looks cool, it's nice, but like, how is the person that downloads the app and get that NFT? What are they going to use that for?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and it's all about being able to jump in and do something on the platform, be able to use it on the platform. So yeah, I'm totally on board with you there. I agree with you there. Anyway, so let's look at this pack that I got. So we're gonna bring up this pack right here, and let's rip this pack and let's see what we get. I would be pretty happy with like a Derek White. I'd be pretty happy.
Man, I'll be happy with any kind of rare, any kind of rare and above. You know.
Well, then you're gonna be happy then, because these are all rares. At least you at least get a rare.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a premium pack. So if we can get lucky, then we get a legendary, let's say, but the odds are quite low. But let's see. More likely, we're gonna get a rare of like Derek White or that dude on Memphis. But let's see.
Oh, Zach Edey.
Yeah. Let's take a look. All right, here we go. I think there's a bunch of fresh threads in here too.
Okay, we got Memphis.
All right, so that's the guy I got.
We were just talking about him, right?
Yep.
Zach Edey.
I know, not Zach Edey. This dude, Jay Huff.
Oh, Jay Huff. Okay.
I don't know who he is. I mean, it's a decent serial. It's a 59 serial, but hopefully people from the Grizzlies like that one. Let's see who else we got. Now these are all going to be fresh threads, I think. Mason Plumlee. Let's see who else we got.
Okay. Decent player.
Yep. I mean, these are all just going to be regular old commons. These are Daniel Theis. He's
Celtic.
Good player, ex-Celtic. We got Tobias Harris on the Pistons.
Okay.
He's having a good year as well. I mean, I have all these other guys already, but anyway. And then we got a Kevon Looney. So that's a trade ticket right there. But there we go. We got Huff, the guy that I don't really know who he is.
And was hoping that you had Zach Edey instead. That would have been a better Memphis pool.
Well, I don't think your Edey has a rare in this one. The only rookie, no, there was no rookies actually that had a rare. We did have a Brandon Miller that had a rare, which I wanted. But anyway, so yeah, he said I did call it. That's true. Oh, he was the guy that was Kuzma for Halloween. Anyway, so let's look at Fast Break real quick. I feel like Fast Break. So far, I have 2 wins. I lost here on the 150 points. Most people lost on that night. I think.
Yes, I think only. If I saw the stats correctly, I think only. What was it?
5%.
5%. Yeah, I'm about to say only 5% won.
5% won, but you look at the winning lineup though, and it's not like anyone here was a surprise. You know, all these guys can score 30, so it's just a matter of just selecting the right
day.
Really.
Yeah, picking them on the right day. And the crazy thing is that it's not even just that, but it's also, do you have their rare or their legendary? Because a lot of these players were already played days before. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, because even with me, a couple of these players were played a day or two before, or I have them in future lineup that I feel like that they're going to excel in, that I feel like they'll be a lot better in. So
of course, You gotta shake it around, jiggle it around a little bit, and put certain guys certain nights and others and others. But anyway, yeah. So that was. I'm actually curious so this was a chalky night. 71% of collectors won that night, and then last night was that also chalky? Not so chalky. So I won on a night that was under 50%, so that feels good. 43% won last night.
Yep, I won last night too. So and I'm kind of happy about that. That it was a pretty, it was a pretty competitive night last night. Last night, it was kind of down to the wire. And you know what? And I can say this: from last season to this season, I enjoyed the improvement on Fast.
Oh yeah,
the improvements on Fast Break has been very uncanny. I actually thought it was going to be more difficult, but it's not. It's just a little more detailed, and it really makes you strategize and think about where you want to place your players and when you want to place your players. And I enjoy that about this season of Fast Break.
Yeah, I enjoy too that they let you set your entire week or your entire fast break, because before you couldn't. Before it would be activated, 2 nights ahead or 1 night ahead. So then you had to sort of do it in your head, and now you can at least do the whole thing out, which is a much better way of doing this.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think that was the biggest complaint that everybody had was like, we'd rather be able to, fill it all the way out, and that way we can make adjustments. Throughout the week, if the player is out for illness or injury or whatever, instead of trying to scramble and remember, like, oh God, who did I play? Who I didn't play? I really do enjoy that they allowed us to fill out the entire week.
100%. All right, so here's tonight's lineup. Right now, this is as chalky as it can get. my lineup is literally the top 5 players. You need 35 boards. Giannis is questionable, so I'm probably going to have to wait. We can actually check RotoWire real quick and just see if there's any update on his status. So if we go to RotoWire and we go here, it says he's a game time decision, and I think gray means so it's a toss up. So we really don't know. But the nice thing about, the problem here tonight, even though the functionality is great, which allows you to put someone else in. The problem is that all these games start at the exact same time. So even if you wanted to put someone else in, you can't. So you're just going to have to keep an eye on this. And right around 7:55 or so Eastern, you're then going to have to decide if you're going to pop in probably Bobby Portis or some other guys that can pull down some rebounds. If you have a Wemby, then congratulations. But then otherwise,
I know, right?
Otherwise, Portis or probably any of these guys, Naz Reid, Randall. I saw some people had Johnson playing, so even Brook Lopez, any of these guys. It looks like today's should be a pretty chalky night because some of these guys pulled on a ton of boards. Like these guys are averaging 12 each. Gobert can get you almost 20 in a night sometimes. So yeah,
somebody did a triple double. That was Jokic last night, right? They did a triple double with 20 rebounds.
Unbelievable. Jokic is just such an unbelievable talent. And I feel like, who knows? Someone said in the chat today that he's going to win another MVP. Like he very well could.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie, man. I think this year is Tatum's year.
I would like to think that.
Tatum's been, and I'm not saying that because I'm a Celtics fan. Even though I am a big Celtics fan, but I am genuinely saying it because I really feel like after the Olympic shine, after Jaylen Brown, all that stuff, I really feel like JT has a lot to prove this year as being the top player or one of the top players in the league, and he's going to do that because if you've seen the first 7 games, he has not come out.
Yeah, I agree.
Not out. Like he has played and played until either the coach was like, okay, we're going to pull you out now, or something. Like he has really played, unlike last year where they will get a lead and then they'll sit him and he'll go cold, and then the Celtics would get caught up on, and then they'll try to throw him back out there, and then he's not scoring. So I really think that this is the year that Tatum is going to be in the top talks for MVP this year.
I think he very well could be. I mean, I know that ESPN released, I think, a top 10 I think SGA's at number 1. I think Tatum was in like the top 5. And yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, he didn't play great last night versus the Warriors. And I think some people thought that would be like a really charged up game. And I think it was interesting too that he actually cussed the reporters a little bit when he said like he does what the F he wants or something like that, or he doesn't let anyone tell him what the F to do. So yeah, it does feel like he's turning the page into almost like a new chapter of his career. And I'm a big Jason Tatum fan as well. And he gets a lot of hate, and I want to see him shine. And this would be the year to do it. I mean, this is a year where if the Celtics can make it happen, they have the odds against them. Most teams are not able to repeat. So we'll see. It's definitely a fun story to track as a Celtics fan.
Oh yeah, and would it be crazy for me to tell you that I'm actually not a Tatum fan? I'm actually a Brown fan.
No, that's not crazy. I love Brown too.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I don't love Tatum. I do love Tatum, but I love Tatum's skill set. Tatum to me has the most complete skill set out of all the Boston Celtics. But I love Brown as a player because Brown to me is that dog. Like,
oh yeah.
He is that dog. Like, he's gonna go and get it like every single night that he plays. He's gonna go. And that's why I love JB a little bit more than I like Jason Tatum.
And JB also, he didn't go to Duke. I know a lot of people don't like people that go to Duke, but also JB, he really took over in the playoffs, and he became the vocal leader of that team.
Yeah.
And I think that says a lot. I think that's something like you can't teach. You can't, for someone to really take like the leadership position. And he was talking down to Tatum, like, hey, relax. Like, this is like, just breathe. You're in the moment. Like, just have fun. And that was really cool to see that, because I think that's his natural role. And Tatum is more of this kind of like flashy, very talented guy, but he's not that gritty. Like you're saying, like you're going to shove the ball down your throat. Like
exactly.
So yeah,
he's our finesse player. He's our nice finesse player. Like he's not saying that he ain't gonna throw a little muscle around, but JT is more of our finesse player. You know what I'm saying? And JB is more of our dog. He's the one that's gonna go in and slam it on your head.
100%.
But
all right. Well,
just kind of give you my lineup before we go over there.
You want to share it, or I guess you're on the phone.
Well,
So
I'm actually talking to you on my phone, and I have my laptop in front of me.
Go ahead. We're looking at the players here. So what's your lineup?
Yeah. So my lineup is Bobby Portis.
Okay.
Kessler.
Okay.
Ayton.
Yep.
Keldon Johnson instead of Sochan.
Yep.
And Keldon Johnson and Rudy Gobert.
All right. So like you threw a couple of wild cards in there, or maybe Keldon's probably your biggest wild card. Otherwise, yeah, I feel like 90% of the people tonight are gonna have the same lineup. So we're gonna see if like 100% of the people pass tonight or 0. I think that's kind of like how it's gonna work.
Exactly.
But anyways,
and I chose Keldon Johnson simply because Sochan is out, and with him being out, Keldon Johnson, even though he's in the guard position, he tends to pick up a lot of rebounds. So with Sochan being out, I think Keldon is going to step up a little bit more, especially with Harrison taking the start, because Harrison is not a big rebounder. Harrison is more of the scorer type, power forward.
Well, it's fun. It's fun to have those dark horses, and like that's part of what makes other fantasy games also interesting. And I do wonder if one day Fast Break might integrate something like that, where for example, on So Rare, you have a certain point total, so you can't just stack the best players. You have to use some surprise players. And I think it would be interesting if Fast Break maybe did that once in a while, where like, your average, you have all the average rebounds now, and it's like, well, you can't actually have an average above whatever the number is. Like, you got to throw someone else in there. That would be a very interesting take. That really would be, because I also play Soul Rare too. I play Soul Rare too. And I do like how they have the point system, and even just what was it like this week? Is it this week? Isn't it? It's 100 points. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I think
100 points plus MVP. So that right there had to make you think, had to make you kind of strategize. Like, okay, I can't put this player in because he's way too much, and So I enjoy Sora and the platform they are in, and I think that something like that could implement to Top Shot, but I wouldn't want it to be a regular thing on Top Shot.
Yeah. Maybe it's it's like expert mode or something. It's hard mode.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I think what makes Top Shot different and unique also is the fact that it's easier to just jump right in and play, and like anybody could literally, you could just scan a QR code, fill out your lineup, and understand it in like 10 seconds. Where So Rare is not the case at all. Like it's more challenging. Most people are not like fantasy nerds. That's sort of like a very particular segment of basketball fans, I would say.
And that's the reason why Soror has their community and have their type of collectors and stuff, because it is, like you say, more for the fantasy league nerds, the ones that like really into point differentials and things like that. Whereas Top Shot is a more simplistic form, which I say like we were saying earlier, how Top Shot I feel could bring in more of the masses because of how simple and simplistic it is and can be in the future.
Yeah. Bodwine agrees. He's like, it's not stupid expensive anymore. It's true. Like anyone can just jump in, and it's kind of interesting, or whatever the adjective is, because that's kind of what they wanted for like 4 years. They never wanted like your common LeBron James to cost $40 like it used to, and they never wanted something like that. So even though a lot of collectors sort of ignored that warning, including myself, it's like, whatever. I'm just gonna keep on buying up these commons, and we'll see what happens. But that we should have been listening a little closer, because that's kind of what they wanted. But anyways, we are a little over time, but it was very nice talking to you, Memphiatl. It's very nice seeing a fresh new face on Twitter videos. That's very cool. So do you want to just I don't know, you want to shout out your whatever you want to shout out to the people here?
Hey man, I just want to shout out everybody out there that came and joined us today on this live stream, man. I want to shout out at Rip PAX City, the Blazer community that's out here, the Pulling Trail Blazer community, man. Shout out to all you guys, Mike G503, D Jack. I appreciate you guys, adopting a Celtics fan on the West Coast. I want to shout out everybody in the Top Shot community, man. Let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it fire, keep it hot, and hopefully this won't be my last time on the live stream with Tandy Man here, man. Because hey, your boy's gonna start getting real active.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you making the time on short notice, and Bodwine's also a fan of yours, so I'm sure if you want to jump on again, I'll be more than happy to have you on again. So that, thank you for making the time. Good luck tonight with our chalk lineups. Good luck. Hope Keldon Johnson gets you 15 rebounds, and take care, man, and just keep it up.
Hey, appreciate you guys, man. Y'all take it easy, man. Hey, make sure you got your lines up locked in, guys. Make sure.
All right. Take care, everybody. We'll talk again next week.
Static Selector.